to Wally Bois. Well, I had another little job come in, and it's one of these. And this is a little Ghibli cat. It's like a Japanese style cat on this wooden base. It is actually a phone holder, for which I don't have a phone in here because I'm using it up there. So yeah, basically it rests on there, sort of like across here, like so. And they work a treat, these little phone holders, and I sell these on Etsy. Now, I've got another order come in, so I've got to cut a new one out. So I thought I'll actually, well, scroll that out live. That's what I'm going to do. So you can see. So I'll just put this one to one side, because that is a customer's. So yes, we're going to be cutting a puddy cat. A little puddy cat using the scroll saw. Yeah, and in the previous live stream, I had to change the motor over on this scroll saw. And it has been used since, because it's cut that puddy cat out over there. And it seems to work okay. I wouldn't say it's got quite as much oomph as the other motor, but it seems to work quite fine. Oh, it's good enough, put it like that. And it's variable speed, which is actually quite useful. Now, I've already fixed my pattern onto my piece of oak, as you can see there. And what is that purple stuff? Oh, I wonder. Well, the purple stuff is like this paintless tape. And the reason why I put the paintless tape on first is that once I've cut all this out, I can remove it, and there'll be no glue residue. Because normally, another way you can do it is literally using spray adhesive like this, like a carpet spray, home spray glue, I don't know. It's like a contact adhesive. And if I stuck it directly onto the piece of wood, when I want to remove the template, I'll have loads of glue left over, which would be more cleanup. So I don't want that aggravation. It just makes it a lot easier, and when you've got delicate work, a lot safer. Yeah. So that's what I use the paintless tape for. It also provides a little bit of lubrication. When I'm talking about a KY, I mean lubrication as in this piece of wax. Hello, Ginger Giraffe, hope you are. And Simon Says, hi. And I used a bit of, well, it's like candle wax, basically, you know, butchers, what's that, and candlestick makers and stuff. Butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. Well, this is a block of wax that is, well, I buy it like this, and it's literally used for doing conserves, you know, jams and stuff. They put a little bit of wax on the top to seal it. So, as well as the lubrication like you get from the tape, I use a bit of this, and I put this over the top as well. Yes, it does make the actual pattern look a bit rubbishy, but the point is, because I'm cutting oak, and this is about, 18mm thick, 17, 18 millimetres thick, it's just under 3/4 of an inch. It can get hot on the blade. When these blades get hot, the scroll saw blades get hot, they can break quite easily. So, yes, I managed to get over a couple of little hiccups I had regarding the light and the pump. So when it switches on, basically I wire directly into the switch down here, which is a no volt switch. Basically, when you have to, it has to have power to work, effectively, for the actual switch itself to work, not just the actual saw. And it's humming away the switches. I can hear the switch humming. And now I can use it on my pen. Oh, it works a treat, it does. It's like magic. Oh, we like magic. Right, well, before I carry on, let's see what you've been saying. I might move the microphone away a little bit, it'll be a bit noisy. We'll see that. Although the motor's is actually quieter on this one. There we go. Hello, Gingers. Hello, Simon. Says all the usual suspects that they are. Oh, Mad Monk 33. Oh, okay, let's get cutting. So, should I bring you a bit closer? I might do. Yeah. So, I'll bring you a bit closer. Hopefully, I can do it without knocking things over. And you can see what's going on. So, I might have to put my fan heater on. Even though it's sunny outside, it's absolutely freezing in here. The sun's it's really nice and bright and shiny. But in here, it's flipping freezing. Just watch Mark's sandpaper video. That there's yeah, there is. In some floor and grade chipboards, especially like the hydrofuge stuff, it has a little bit of aggregate in it. So basically, it looks like it sweetens off the floor, basically, and it's you can't really saw, you end up getting blunt blades. And what reminded me is because I was doing something. I was making this. Let me show you. Yeah. And why I wanted this is so when I made something like this, I can easily sand it nice and flat on here. And these are just the little discs, little sanding discs. So it's literally just Velcro, hook Velcro that's stuck on there. But I know when I was looking at this, you won't be able to see it, but I can see it from here actually. There's well, I don't know if you can, no, you won't see it. I can see a bit of quartz in there. So either quartz or a piece of glass in there. And then I found another piece, I've probably covered up with the tape now, with some metal in it. That reminded me, because I remember when I was doing some flooring, and my blades were blunting really quickly. And obviously I found out why, because they were sparking. And why were they sparking? Another bit of stone there actually, as well. Bit of grit in there. So you hit that with your saw blades, it's going to, well, blunt them, isn't it? And so I generally do, whenever I cut this stuff, I just use a jigsaw. Now on. Well, I have been anyway. And that's my little sanding block with little screws in the back. The beauty about that is it doesn't move about. Just don't put it on your French polished surface, because you know someone might get in trouble. Be all scratched. Anyway, let's get cutting, shall we? All right, what I'm going to do is, because that end is already near the end of the piece of wood, I'm going to start in this area here. And that way, I've got all this extra wood here to hold on to while I do the rest. I've already pre-drilled the holes for the access points where the eyes are, the nose and the ears, where they're going to be cut out. So yes, let's get cutting. Let's get jiggy with it. Oh no, that's Will Smith. Shouldn't say that, should I? Oh dear, he's a naughty boy apparently. Right, down a bit. Tighten up a bit. Oh, got to get play a tune there, play a tune. So I'm going round the tile. Now there's a bit of artistic licence, so if I go a little bit off the line, I'm not that worried. As long as I get the basic shape. Now all this is a quite nice little saw. The one thing is, see, I cut my finger. I've got a bit of insulation tape and it's all floppy on the end. The one thing I don't like about it is it's a bit of a palaver to actually release the blade. It's pretty much you see. That's it. Might be a better idea, mightn't it? There you go. That's better. Oh no, my belly, get out of the way. Right, yeah, this arrangement here, you've got a screw on the side. So it's a bit of a palaver to change the blade. The more modern machines have a quick release, which is obviously much easier and much nicer to use. So as I put the wax over top of that, every time the blade goes up and down, it takes a little bit of wax with it and it helps keep the blade cool, because they can get really hot. And if you're a bit concerned about it, you can just literally just do that. Or get in there aerosol PTFE spray, that's usually quite good as well. What you've got to be careful of is if you're constantly pushing with the actual wood against the blade, you've got to remember at some point you need to keep relaxing it as well, so you're always centering the blade. Otherwise, you're going to push and push and push and push and push and push until finally it gives up the ghost and breaks on you. It could still break. Oh, that made me jump. Getting there. Then one side of the body, down here, like so, up to the neck. Chop it off! Off with the head! Things you've got to watch out for. This original design on the whiskers were quite thin, and because of that, they could quite easily break off afterwards, because the grain's going that way, so you've got to think about all this stuff. And I thought to myself, well, I have to remind myself that I need to make them a little bit thicker at the base, otherwise they'll snap off. If you notice, I managed to turn that right round on itself like that, but if you want the sharp point, what you can do is you can go broad, away from your piece of work, then back round again. It's almost like a, well, not a figure of 8, but it's kind of, you're coming back round. And then you can create a sharp, if you want a sharp edge. But I don't, I just keep it from tactile. So up to the ears. Now the thing is, when you're doing this, you've got to always be aware of that heat on that blade. So it's a good idea to get the occasional extra bit of wax, and that just helps keep the blade cool. But these blades, these are from a place called Hobbies. They used to be Hobbies of Dereham, and I don't even know if they're still there. And they used to sell like bits and pieces to make dolls' houses and all that sort of stuff. But these Hobbies blades are actually Nicola blades, and just rebranded as Hobbies. And they're actually really quite good blades. But I bought a job lot ages ago. Selling them. I think maybe they were shutting the shop or something. I can't remember now. Something like that. Anyway, I got a whole load of these Nicola blades and various other blades and stuff like that. Now there are different types of blades. These are just a straight blade, and they've got a set on them. So basically, they're cut in two. The set is each tooth is slightly pointing one way. One points one way, and one goes the opposite direction. And that set creates your curve, it creates the width. And the width of the cut then prevents the timber, the wood, from actually touching the sides of the blade and causing too much friction. But there are other blades, and these ones here that I don't really use much at all. In fact, I don't like them. A bit of an experiment. These are called spiral. I just rested my foot on the pedal. Don't do that, Marcus, don't do that. Make yourself a jump. Right, so these are spiral blades, and now, here goes my light again. If you look, I don't know if you can see that, they've got a bit of a twist in them. They're like a twisted blade. They're round. They're a round blade. They don't cut in that direction. They still go up and down, like an ordinary blade, like you go in there, you up and down. But the thing about them is, you don't have to move the piece of wood round. You literally just push against either side of the blade. But they're awful to use, and they've got a thick kerf. I don't like them. Some people swear by them. I think they're probably okay on thin material, but no, I find them horrible. These Nicola, Hobbies Nicola blades are quite good. These are quite old, as you can see, but they're still sold. You can still get the Nicola. They're very good. And these are by Hobbies. Now, Hobbies have been about for a very long time, and I used to have a fret saw called a Hobbies Gem, and it was a treadle fret saw. So there you were, doing that with your legs, up and down with your legs. Let's do my demonstration. So you're up and down with your legs like that. So you're moving about like that. You're trying to hold that while you're trying to cut your work. To be fair, it was actually a really good little machine, really. Didn't use the power. You could electrify them if you so wished. But I quite liked them as they were, to be honest. They're pretty good. Oh, as you said, the usual suspects. I know. I had quite a good night last night. I quite enjoyed doing the stream last night on the other channel. I'm always very nervous when I do those streams, and it worked out quite well. So, anyway, let's get back to this. So we're down one side now. We've gone past the first set of whiskers, as you do, and now we're going to go round the ears. Take your tension, because what can happen is the blade can actually stretch while you're using it. Like I was saying earlier about because when I get to the eyes and stuff, I'm going to have to keep taking the blade out of the clamps. And there's a pain in the neck. The other thing is you have to take the tension off first. And because the saw's quite a big saw, the tension is right on the other end there. And my arms don't reach that far, so I have to get out of my seat to take the tension off. One day maybe I'll get a Pegasus machine or something like that, but at the moment, no. Besides, I quite like the machine itself. It's just silly things. Maybe I can get an upgraded system for that. Now they're quite fine blades in there, so they're quite slow cutting. I could put coarser blades in, but then I'd have to think about how I'm going to sand all these nooks and crannies, all these little bits and pieces like that. This one does actually leave quite a nice cut. Coming down the home run, cutting an air. Hopefully I don't take it off. They're quite a safe machine, these two. You know, if you touch a blade while it's working, the likelihood you're cutting yourself is quite slim. Remembering to release the tension. There we go. Right. On to the other ear. I have to admit, this motor on here is a lot quieter than the old one. The old one's much bigger. If you look at it, it's quite. I know I showed you a video, but it's quite tiny. It was a bit out of place. It looks tiny, but it's actually the same amperage and output as the original motor. It's just far more compact, and it works. It's doing the job. It's better than no motor because that one won't work. There we go. Now on the tree planting that we're doing, our rewilding sort of scheme, those, oh God, done it again. God, that makes me jump. That's so sensitive my pedal is. So it's probably because I've got these flipping riggers on. I've got to wear my riggers. There's not exactly much finesse there. So they're quite good riggers. These are actually B&Q ones. They come from Screwfix, and Screwfix is in France now, so that's quite handy. And they were cheap. They're only about 30 euros. It's handy in the winter because obviously feet get cold in here. Well, mine do especially. Oh, I forgot to say about the trees. Yeah, I put a load of willows in those buckets on the other channel, did it live, and they've already got roots. I thought I'd check them yesterday, or this morning, sorry, and then I was looking at them, and I thought, right, let's give it a toe, a bit tight. So I had a little bit of digging there and loosened soil up around the actual little sticks of willow tree. And I've got little nodes and roots all coming off, locking them into the bucket. So that's only about 2 weeks ago. Really quick. Remember, there's no roots on the start with it. It's actually made those roots straight out of a bit of wood. You know, a bit of willow wood. Right, so I've actually now got to a point now where I can actually separate the two pieces of wood. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, look at that. Oh, here it comes. Ah, it's like magic. Now, one of the signs to watch out for with a scroll saw, some of the cheap scroll saws you can get, okay, they're excellent value for money, but sometimes they don't cut 100% square to the table. They'll be bending the blades over. There's not enough stability in the top or bottom arm. And what happens is you end up with a cut that isn't perpendicular to the face or, or the back. So when it you can't pass. It's not very good if you're doing jigsaws, for instance, because the jigsaws will be useless. but you can't pass it right through. Like, see, I've managed to pass all the way through because the cut is 100% 90 degrees. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do that. Obviously it'll be like a taper. So we've got to be careful on some of the cheap scroll saws. If you did want to take up scroll sawing, this would have been a reasonable machine in its time. I actually only paid €40 for it. And it was a complete and utter mess, all rusted up and what have you. I completely stripped it down and painted it all up, and cleaned it all up. And it's a good solid machine. And also the bearings, the top and bottom bearings are actually adjustable. There's one at the back, that pivot bearing there, and then you've got one at the bottom as well, and they're adjustable. So there's no slop or play in those in the arms, in the top bottom arms. You've got this top one here and then the bottom one there. And there's a parallel arm motion, so it's just sort of going up and down like so. So it does work really well for an old machine. It's like from the 70s or 80s. It's quite old, American. Made by Craftsman, Sears Craftsman, I think it is. Yeah, it is, yeah. Looking good. These little chibbly cats, I've selling quite a few of these at the moment. I suppose for Mother's Day and stuff like that, I suppose they've had quite good little gifts. Put your mobile phone on. So they certainly seem to be quite popular. And also the Star Wars ones I've been doing as well. I've got the little Yoda one, Baby Yoda, and yeah, they've done well. And also the Death Star one has done very well as well. Anything the Death Star takes quite a long while to cut it out. Closer. Oh, don't look at my belly. No, not my belly. Oh dear. Right, so we're now onto the paws, and then we'll come onto the tail. Then once we're finished cutting this piece out here, which is obviously the bottom, because of the legs and paws and what have you, and then we'll be doing the eyes, and then they'll cut out as well, so you can see through them, just like this one. Oh, you see? Now the finish on here, this isn't actually paint, this is ebonised. We'll do it with acid and iron filings. Well, actually, Brillo pad, wire wool. Oh, there goes a paw. And there. Oh, now I'm on the tail. You've got to be careful when you do these thin bits here, because like I said earlier, the grain's going that way, so anything that's going across the grain makes it weaker. So you don't put too much pressure on those areas. Oop, don't want to do that either. I've got a hole down here, but then you won't see anything. Once that hole down, basically, that comes down there like that, and then you know, it sort of holds you a bit of wood down to the ground, down to the tabletop like so. But I don't like using it, to be honest. It's there if I want to use it, but I don't use it. There we go. Oh, we've got the next bit. Oh, here we go again. Oh, it's like magic. Like magic it is. Can't be bad. So we've got our cat so far. Obviously, it'd be a lot quicker, cutting it if I was, for start, if I was using a different material. This is oak and it's very hard, but also, because I'm streaming, obviously I'm trying to be a little bit chatty at the same time. Trying. But before we actually do the next stage, oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, I hope you're well. Oh, you don't know what? No, you don't want to know what I do with that. No, Duke Vengeance. No, definitely not. Can't say on here what I do with my wood. No. What was innuendo? Yeah, there's a bit of wood. So, oh, gingers. I ran errands after your stream last night. One store I went to, not a single person other than me was wearing a mask, and yet we are bracing for a surge of the new Omicron. Yes, there's a new Omicron variant, and that's a bit of a worry. Well, me and Mrs. we always wear masks when we go out. Our feeling is, it's even more important to wear them now. I know it's not for your own protection, because they're not very good for your own protection. But I feel it's more important to wear it now than it was before, because no one else is wearing them. Do you feel a bit lonely in the old supermarkets and stuff when you're the only person wearing a mask? And your glasses are steaming up and why did you take the mask off? No, don't want your germs. Do you know the thing I don't like though? Ever since this COVID thing, I've made me really conscious and aware that so many people spit when we all do, spit when they talk. And I remember last summer, standing there, I was speaking to Tammy, my son's mother-in-law, and it's just like flying out of her mouth, this bit. She just ain't talking, but she's made me really aware. I mean, people serve you up food or they're prepping food and you go around people to eat and what have you, and they're spitting over everything. Oh, that's disgusting. The same thing happened with our other friends as well. And we're outside and the sun was shining. Underneath like a shelter thing, all of the wasps were flying about. And just spitting all over her, her Spanish dish. It was like some kind of Spanish peppery dish. It was very nice, but like a paprika, peppers and paprika and tomatoes and stuff. But this was blah blah blah, and constantly picking at the food in it, and I thought, it makes me, because of COVID, it's made me more aware, more conscious of it now. Paranoid, that's what I am, paranoid. I don't want to eat other people's spit. No, not if I can help it. Oh, I'm not worthy. Okay. Oh, yep. So you're right, gingers. Most people aren't wearing the mask. Oh dear. And the same over here in France. It's no different. So what we've got to do now is we need to release the blade. Like release the kraken. I'm going to release the blade so I can then poke it through these holes. Make his eyes, his ears. But first I've got to get up. I've got to release the tension over here. Get off the blade. It makes it a palaver. That's what I don't like about the saw. Modern saws, you don't have to do that. And then we have to release the blade, like so. And then I've got to poke his eye out, like so. Then I've got to put it back into the holder, like so. Central to the screw, otherwise it won't be pulling straight. Like so. Then I've got to tension the blade up again. So listen to the blade. It needs to ping a little bit. So if it ain't pinging, it's going to be too slack. You've got the right note. You get to understand or get to know your note, you see. You've got to have your note. So now what we're going to do is cut his eyeball out. Oh, nice. I'm cutting out the whites of the eyes, I am. Usually, actually, what I usually do is you turn the power right down after I take the blade and put it in again, just in case there's something wrong and it just throws the blade. So make sure it's centralised. Then turn the power up when I want to start cutting. Because I've got variable speed now. Now I've made the changed the motor over and the power. I've got variable power. Come around the eyeball, now come up to the pupil. Try not to cut the pupil out. Round. On the back of the blade. And then round the pupil. So now I've got to spin it right round. You've got to be careful you not go too fast, so you've got to make sure the blade is doing the cutting and you're not forcing and twisting the blade. It's quite amazing, really. I think this machine here is currently being run by solar. It's pretty cool, I think. Just clean off the edges where the drill bit was, and with the saw blade. That's not always necessary, but this time it was. This blade's starting to get a bit blunt, to be honest. There you go. Okay, that's one eyeball. You've got an eyeball! Slacking off the blade. And then undo that. Pull it out. And then we've got to do the other eyeball. Oh dear. Caroline was saying to me that she wanted to do more solar with everything that's going on at the moment and the cost of everything. See whether or not we can invest in a little bit more solar panels, more batteries, what have you. Because we still have on-grid power here as well. But we calculated last year that we managed to around 60 to 70% is by solar at the moment. We do have a wind turbine, but that needs to be reinstalled. We had some issues where like the blades flew off. Weren't very good. Power down. Faster. The problem when you've got these variable power switches like this, they're not actually gearing the motor down at all. All it's doing is reducing the amount of power to the motor. The problem with that is you lose the power out of the motor as well. So you got it's all or nothing really. So you turn it up and have the actual power, like the torque, to be able to make the cut, which means it's going a lot faster as well. Or if you try and slow it down, you then got the problem. You've got reduced power. You might have you're going to not just reducing the actual speed of the blade, but you're also reducing the torque. That's a bit annoying. You got a gearbox on it. 6-speed. Or Tiptronic. That's where the other motor was quite good. It was a twin winding motor, had 2 sets of windings, 2 speeds. So the only problem with it is the high speed was too high, in my opinion. It was too fast, and the low speed was too slow. So I tend to just use it on high all the time. Oh, we're getting close. There you go, that's off there. Clean off the edge. Yeah, I've been trying to build up my other channel as well at the moment. Not just obviously I've got the All Shorts one, but I've got one called Earth Trifle, which is, don't get me wrong, the material on that channel's not brilliant at the moment. But, I want to take sort of a practical, earthy approach to, just being a little bit more aware of what's going on around us, regarding the environment, but also science as well, which I'm quite interested in. And that goes into there. I've got to do his ears now. Oh, the ears. Got to do the ears. Around the ears. Around the ears. Oh dear, you have a traditional Turkish barber. He'll get rid of the hair out of the ears. I just use a blowtorch. Lovely. There's one way to get rid of the hair out of the ears. Hang on. Oh, he fell down. Oh, silly me. I do apologise. How you found it, did you, Simon Says? Yeah, that's only a young channel. It's only got about 100 subscribers on it, so there's hardly anything on there. But I did. What actually happened is that I did have bring a bit closer. I was doing a fair bit on that channel. Then because of or planning to, but then I got carried away with the other channel, All Shorts, and then that sort of kind of like took over. So then I stopped putting material on there. Just didn't have time. There you go. So and now I did. Yeah, the same with this channel. This channel took the wayside, and I was just so how to put it, obsessed with All Shorts. I've been doing quite a few of the little vertical videos, you know, the YouTube shorts, a bit like the TikTok type videos. There you go, get back on there, you. What I find with them, with a young channel, is that they're great for getting subscribers. Because the way YouTube promotes the short videos is totally different to the rest of the channel, the rest of the platform. They've got a thing called the YouTube short shelf. And videos can quite quickly end up in there, even if they're fairly new channels, and you get subscribers that way. And I find that with the with Wally Bra, I find that does get me quite a few subscribers on the when I do shorts. It's quite handy. You got to start somewhere, haven't you, with some of the smaller channels. There you go. Oh, one last bit to do. That one there. Might get you. Yeah, that was all short. Earth trifle. I've had it for a little while. I just haven't done anything with it. Well, not much anyway. I've got a couple of other channels as well, which I've done nothing with pretty much, and I might play about them later. But the main ones I'll stick with, obviously, Wally Bra, Earth Trifle, and All Shorts. I'll try and stick with them. So I haven't got all my eggs in one basket, then, you see. And also, if I want to have a mental break from All Short, because that blows my mind at times. It just, it just, crikey. Like, listen to Jake Rees-Mogg this morning. Oh, my God. Anyway, here we go. So once you get the hang of it, you get a lot quicker. I suppose if the machine wasn't quite so big, and it's just there, it wouldn't be so bad, would it? Because I get up and down. It might sound really lazy, but if you've got a lot to do, it just slows the whole process up. Normally it takes me about just under 10 minutes to cut out from putting the template on to start cutting. I have to admit this blade is actually quite dull. Now, a little trick with these, if for instance you're a bit how to put it, you don't want to keep replacing the blades. Remember, this is only cutting from here. It's got like an inch, what was it, 3/4 inch stroke. So if you actually able to move it up and cut at that point, well, then you'll be using a different part of the blade. All you do is you put a sacrificial piece of wood on top of your tabletop and clamp it down, and then you work on top there. And that way, you can use a part of the blade that hasn't been used yet. Now, this cut goes all the way up to here. Well, that doesn't even get used at all at the top of that blade there. Oh, okay. Check, make sure it's good. I'll make a little bit off there. Just using the edge of the blade to sand the start point off, the start and end point, so it don't end up like a little ridge where the cut was. That's good. Happy with that. So let's release that. Got to walk the dogs in a minute. So I always put the blade back in, just in case I accidentally touch the pedal, even if it's slack. And then I'll turn it off at the bottom here. Got my switch at the bottom here. The new switch. I have to turn it off there. There you go. Oh, I don't want to rotate the device. Just asked me if I want to turn the phone around. So there you go. We've got a little cat cutout, which is obviously very similar to this one because it's the same template. But you know what I was saying earlier about this pattern? Now, I haven't glued it directly to the piece of wood. I've glued it to that tape. And because of that, I should be able to, with a bit of luck, just peel that off. It's like having a sticky backed template instead of glue it directly to the piece of wood, which will create a lot of residue on the wood, which you have to clean off. And if you've got a linen sheet, like one of them flat belt sanders or something like that, yeah, where you actually place it onto the belt sander, yeah, it might be okay. It's a bit aggressive. So, there we go again. Oh, I'm going to have to turn that switch off. So now, as you can see, I can just peel that off with the tape and everything, and I'm not left with a load of excess glue from the spray adhesive, which is quite nasty stuff, because it's gooey, it's hard to clean off, and this way it works. So if you attach some templates, put a bit of paintless tape on first, and then you aren't leaving it with loads of nasties, like bogies all over it. You don't want bogies all over it, no. So now that leaves me, I need a bit of sanding on it in places, make sure it's no all the lumps. And one thing we use for that is our new sanding pad here, not designed to go on, it's actually designed to go onto the bench, because I've got these screws that poke through that grip the bench, you see. And then you just literally... Oh, I'm using my new toy! Oh, don't take batteries. No, not this toy. And this is the 240 grit paper, which is a bit coarse. I'll go down to 400 grit eventually. It's not too bad, 240. And then what I'll do is I'll then sand all these edges down. If you look at the cut, you see that's not full of saw marks. It's actually shiny, almost smooth. Now, that's because I used a fine saw blade. I could have used a coarser saw blade, which would be much faster on the cut, but then I got a lot more cleaning up to do afterwards. So it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a sacrifice. Yeah, this just takes you a little bit longer. This thing works really well. It's very good. All it is just hook, just hook and loop that's been stuck to a piece of board, basically. There's nothing that magic. It's just a simple idea. Simple ideas, are the best, aren't they? I'm simple, so I must be the best. That's good. So then I'll just clean up all these little edges and stuff. Anyway, I see what you guys and gals are saying. So, I quite like using scroll saws. It's something about it. It's quite therapeutic, really. Making up bits and pieces like that. Make a difference, it's better than making windows. And it's fun. Silly, eh? But it makes something silly. You whack on a bit of wood like that with a little slot in the front for your phone to sit in, and then all of a sudden you've got something that's useful. You put your phone on. Are the fish happy yet? The happy fish? I don't think they are. Don't sound like they are, does it? Samuel's talked about on the LBC this morning. Somebody phoned in about the problems regarding the fishing and how, because what did you say, 70% of the waters, 70% or was it more than that? I did write it down actually. I wrote it on a dry whiteboard, I'm sure. So I like to make sure I got my thing. No, 90%. 90% of British fishing waters are Class B. So basically they're full of poo. That is terrible. That is actually really bad. And the reason it's Class B is because we're pumping poop in it. It's not a great idea. We've got turds floating about with a little bit of pink toilet paper. Not nice. No. Don't want to be swimming in that. You get stuck in your throat, doesn't it? Oh, nasty. And what if I ate some corn? Because I ain't no corn. No. God, choke you, that would. Get into your lungs and that as well, couldn't it? Oh. That's quite good. That feels good. This thing's brilliant. That is brilliant. That is such a cool little thing. I'm having a little skiffle band. No? Okay. Don't give up your day job. That's such a simple idea. That works really well. I'm quite impressed with that. Yeah, the thing that was driving me up the wall. Great, see, phone holder. If only I had one of those saws. What, a scroll saw? You can get them quite reasonably priced. This machine like this one would be a lot. You'd be looking at about $700-800 euros, I imagine, sort of comparable with that one. Or maybe that's something like Pegasus or something like that. They're really nice machines. Or Jet do one as well. But you can get machines under €100, which are quite capable, for most people. But remember, I'm cutting oak. That's oak. So that's why you're sort of going a bit slow, really. The reason I'm cutting oak is because I've got oak. So, when I run out of oak, I end up doing walnut or something. That'll be walnut. Speaking of sewer and fish, in Louisiana, we called catfish turd hustlers. Really? Turd hustlers. That's very interesting. Oh dear, but okay. Hello, Great Dane. Great Dane lovers. Ooh. The other thing that's really bugging me, they keep going on about the Victorian sewage works in the UK, and it's got very little to do with the problem. The problem is that it's literally just, we don't have enough capacity in the sewage works, and that's it. It's got nothing to do with them. There's a problem in the sewage, in the Victorian sewers and the fatbergs and stuff like that. But it's not. If they can get the stuff, the poop and the wee and the water and everything else out of the CSOs, there's no reason why they can't get it into the sewage plant, because it runs by the sewage plant. Generally, that's the whole point of the CSOs. It has to go to the sewage plant or from the sewage plant to prevent overwhelming the sewage plant. So it's the sewage plant that can't cope. And in Great Britain, not in Scotland, so it's not privatised in Scotland, but in I don't know about Wales. Is it privatised in Wales? I don't know. But in Britain, it's it's all privatised, isn't it? And some of those CSOs are not combined sewage outlets, or you could compare them. I mean the people in charge, head of the table and all that. The money they're making, they've been paid, and the dividends have been paid, but also the bonuses, £400,000-500,000 to be the head of a sewage plant. Well, there's something wrong there, isn't there? Oh yes, money. That's what it is. It's all about poop. Oh, I tell you what my grandfather used to say: where there's muck, there's money, or where there's money, there's muck. Something like that. Maybe I don't know which way around it is. Hey, I'm going to go walk the dogs in a minute. They're called turd hustlers. Didn't know that. The thing about the phone holders is, the phone holder part itself, this part is the same. On all my phone holders, the base is literally the same. It's simple. It's a square, or a rectangle of oak, in this case. I put my little stamp on the bottom. And then I write out a groove in there, and that's it. And I made a jig for that, to make that simple to do. It's over there. I wrote it specifically for that, just for that job. So it's quick and easy to make that. Then it's just all my templates, just for different designs, for this bit. And the black version that you got here, this one's going to be natural, actually. They want this one to be, just ordinary wood colour. But this one is ebonised. So how I ebonise, I showed you before, actually, how I ebonise. I do that with, I've got a solution that I make with wire wool and vinegar. And the vinegar eats the wire wool, takes the iron sulfates out of it, and then it ends up in a fluid, in a solution. So then you wet, or you paint it over, or you dunk it into that solution, and it'll go black. It'll look a bit purpley black, but once you've actually sanding to get the residue off, and then the coat a lacquer on it, or whatever you want to do, it just goes like that, black. So that's ebonised. That's not painted. It's pretty cool. And it works. So, but I've got various ones I've been doing. Like, for instance, I've done Death Stars. What else was there? Boba Fett one's pretty cool. And what else was there? Oh, R2D2. I haven't done C3PO yet. Anyway, it's all copyright. Whoops. So yeah, it's fun. I quite enjoy doing it. Marcus, you should have an Etsy shop. I got one. That's how I sold that one on Etsy. But I don't work very hard at it on Etsy. I got a bit sidetracked with the other, with all shorts. So Etsy doesn't. I don't do a lot with Etsy. I should do. I suppose I could do. I got a bit sidetracked with the other YouTube channel. I'm busy all the time. Are the fish happy yet? I don't think so, because they're swallowing poo. Cool. Anyway, I'm going to call that it. Wow, I done a stream under an hour. Unbelievable. You realise I was online last night for just under 4 hours? I didn't even realise time just flies when you do these streams. 4 hours, that's a big stream, isn't it? That's half a day online. And it didn't... Oh, sorry, Bernard. Yeah, I went on. You can still watch it if you want. I quite enjoyed it. It's quite good fun, actually. That was quite good. And, look up finger, looks all blood. Yeah, so... 4 hours, though. That's just nuts. And my internet didn't go off once. And I haven't got landline internet, no ADSL or anything like that here. That's actually on 4G. So, yeah, it worked very well. If you're wondering how we do our internet, I can pretty much show you. We had a little trundle outside. Oh, it's sunny out there. A nice walk with the dogs later. Oh, it can't be bad. Right, okay. Hopefully the internet don't go out. It shouldn't do. Now, if you look on top of my... See those two aerials? There's three there. Actually, one's to boost our mobile phone connection for 3G, but also for the 4G as well. But those two aerials on there, basically, they're pointing directly towards the antenna that provides our internet. In this case, at the moment, it's pointing towards St. Lawrence Gore. Sometimes we'll then point it at St. Lawrence Gore that way. Sometimes we'll point it in the other direction towards Oradell-sur-Ver. Depends which one's giving us the best signal at the time. But at the moment, that's how we get on the internet. And the wires come down there into my office, which is behind all that jasmine. And that provides our, so like a router, 4G internet, Wi-Fi routery thingy. Yeah, that thingy. And it does the job. It works quite well. So that's what we do for our internet here. We were on landline, so we can get a landline if we want it. But it was so bad. I mean, ridiculously slow. So we decided to find another solution, and I did about must be 4 years ago, and we've been on the 4G set ever since. And because it's a line of sight connection, it's fairly stable. It's not like we walk around with your mobile phone that keeps jumping in and out all the time. It's pretty good. It works quite well. 4 hour streaming, that wasn't bad. I hope the picture was okay. I didn't see, being fair. Bernard said, I just saw the Sander video and wondered about the finger. Yeah, the black. I cut my finger. I didn't cut it on that. I cut it on my blooming mitre trimmer. And I wasn't even using it. I was just cleaning up, and the blade was exposed because I had the handle in the wrong position. So the blade was slightly out, and I sliced my finger on it. Not a great thing to do, no. And we're going to be walking the dogs in a minute. I'm quite looking forward to that. Oh, that nice stream was it? Oh, hello, B. Dallas. I quite enjoyed that stream last night. It was quite good fun. I need to sharp my act up there because I was all prepared, and then in the beginning of getting other things ready, I messed it all up. So then that's why I had a delay, a technical delay. I'm Mad Monk, did you, buddy? So yes, I know how long you were online for last night. Watched it all, crikey. You're desperate. But the television was boring. Oh, that's really nice to think that people are happy to watch me for that period of time. But that's a long while, isn't it? You know, me yabbering along, talking a load of rubbish, probably. So what I find is, though, when I start getting tired, I start getting a bit slurry and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, crikey, I have to keep sort of double checking myself in my head. Otherwise, I sort of like, go a bit, get tongue-tied and forget what I'm saying stuff. Great Dane Lover says, you tortured us for about an hour, damn you. I do my best. Can't beat a bit of torture. I'm like your dominatrix. Oh, maybe I should wear something, a little whip and stuff. Oh, I could be like Pretty Patel. Oh, I thought that could be. Yeah, I can do that. I'll post the Etsy link. I think it's in my other channel, actually. I think it's in the channel somewhere. I'll do it and I'll post it. I need to do more work on there. A lot of the stuff isn't live now because I let it run adrift. Yeah, run out. Hello, Shannon. Oh, Shannon just came downstairs and saw Mark's live streaming. Oh, he's making a cute cat. That I was. Oh, dear. Cool. Anyway, I better go because I'm going to have to go and walk the dogs. And the sun is, well, is out and shiny and sunny like, you know, and I like that and blind me. Oh, my giddy aunt. If anyone's wondering why in my other channel I'm always wearing sunglasses when I'm outside, it's because I'm always tend to look towards the sun because I need the light on me. And I can't see a blooming thing. I can't see my screen. That's pretty much it. So I put the sunglasses so I can see. I feel blinded otherwise. But a mess around here, look. Oh, I've got to show you this. This is for my Wally. Well, that's my bike. I mean, he's now got a trolley. That's a Wally trolley. So we can tow Wally behind the bike and go shopping or something with Wally. Is that a good idea or not? We haven't tried it yet. I've got the feeling that it's going to get all stressy and just jump out. That's what I've got a feeling. Yeah, I think you probably would. Would you go in there? Anyway, my battery's about to run out as well. Quick look. What was I saying? Oh, you all have a good day too. Cool, nice one. I've got around time to do some slate tilings. Oh my god, no slate tiles. Oh, there's flooring tiles on the roof. Tired and emotional. Oh, won't we just... Ginger Giraffe, you're walking her dog soon as well. Cool, nice one. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Nat, and I hope you enjoyed it. I've got enjoyed doing it, as you know. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's all a bit ad hoc, but hey, say la vie. So where's my button? I can't see it because it's under my eyes. There we go. There you are. Ta-ta.